Hi, tell me about yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Mateus. I am the CEO from SG Esports, and I got in esports in 2016. I used to play Dota with my friends and since school, and we always wondered why we didn't have any Brazilian teams or organizations in the international. So, because it's a lot of money, they pay. So I just thought, well, why we with 200 million people here in our country do not have any talented players to go to TI, etc. And we started to study a little bit about esports, etc. And we found out that there were no structure for players to really compete with North American teams, European teams, or Asian. So I thought, wow, there's an opportunity there. So if I can get the structure they need, we might go to TI. And since 2016 is just history. We were the first um, Brazilian team to go to a major in 2017 to Kiev major, and we were the first Brazilian squad because Pay Gaming went there before, but we were the first Brazilian squad to go to TI. So I think we did accomplish um, good good objectives, right? So that's why we started to play and compete and start to study the esports. And that's why we also chose Dota because we used to play, we were passionate about the game, and we knew more about the competitive scene. So when you start a business, you always want to go where you already have knowledge of. So that's the main point.
You can call Moza.
Re- Oh, sure. Because just one thing, because Musva is competing for a team in a championship right now,
Uh,
so he won't be able to attend. But I can tell a little bit about him because I asked him about about his entrance in SG and what happened to him to come to Brazil, start a new journey, etc. Because when we contacted him, he already was a top ranked player in Europe. So he's like almost 10K MMR, and he used to play with in the open qualifiers for the Western European qualifiers, so which is the most competitive scene in the world. So he had some experience, and he's Peruvian, but he lives in Spain. So he is really used to the Peruvian players. He's used to Spanish. So there were no language barriers. One thing that's interesting, I contact some Russian players before him. We had some tests with aggressive child, which is his other nickname is Coma. I think currently he's playing with Nine Pasha and other really good players, but the language was a little bit of an issue because our players they can understand and speak English, but Dota is a really fast game, and when they have to talk in English during the game, they lose a little bit of impetuousness. So they kind of don't play as good as they can play. So we didn't really fit in with an English speaker because we don't know Russian, of course. But we with Musva, it's really good because he can feel really comfortable playing in and talking in Spanish, and that's the main reason we called him. Because he's a really talented player. We saw some replays of him, and he's used to play in Europe too, which is really good for our region. We did decide to change our position one last season because we had Berla, which is a really good player too, an awesome person, but he didn't quite fit in really well in the team, and we needed someone new just to get some fresh air, some fresh new ideas. And Musva was really interested in coming here to Brazil, to Fortaleza, in our boot camp. And I think everything is going really well with him. So I think we really have good chances to go to TI.
I work with Mozo too. At
Yes,
European
yes,
team.
really.
Yeah.
So you know him a little bit. He's awesome. He's really disciplined, and he's really calm and during the screams, etc. And he's a good acquisition to SG.
Mhm. He good guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
I
guy. He's a
recommend
good guy.
him 5 months ago. Okay,
Sorry?
I recommend him to AB God 5 months
Ah,
ago.
yeah. He's really good. He's really good. That was a really good recommendation. Thanks, by the way.
Okay, let's go next. Tell about created SG and what discipline with what discipline you start.
I know that word in Russian, but well, we've chosen Dota because we already knew something about the competitive scene, and it's always scary to invest in something you don't understand really well. So, for example, if we as CS:GO is really big here in Brazil, it's an awesome modality to invest in. But we didn't know a lot back then in 2016 about CSGO. So we thought that would be better to go with something we knew the interests and we knew the how it worked, how the system worked. We had some contact with Valve, etc. We knew the players, we knew where were the opportunities with Dota, and that's why we started with it, and also the TI. There's a lot of money in stakes, so we thought about going after that money.
You have 3 disciplines now: Valorant, Rainbow Six, Dota 2. Do you plan to expand further? Which disciplines will be choice and why?
Sure. We now have these three types of games: Valorant, Rainbow Six, and Dota 2. And Dota 2 is our main squad, obviously. But we do intend to expand our operations to CS:GO mainly. We thought about going to League of Legends because it's the strongest game here in Brazil, but it's kind of saturated with. It's really expensive to go into this game because it's a franchise model. So in order to just participate, you need to invest a lot of money, and the income that you receive from participating is kind of not guaranteed. So we think that CS:GO would be a better choice now. The players here are really passionate about the game, and there's a major coming to Brazil, so that would be the smartest choice in our opinion. But our squad from Valorant and Rainbow Six, they are more like a tier 2 squad, so we can improve the talent and we can maybe sell the players to good organizations, etc. So that's the idea mainly.
Next. Recently you played Dota 2 Champions League season 13, but this tournament is held on the European servers. What you think at Europe, and do you have any problems with playing at EU servers or no?
So that's a really interesting question because recently, last year, we had a new opportunity here in Brazil, in this city we are currently living in. It's called Fortaleza. This city received a cable that's called Ela Link, which connects Fortaleza to Portugal directly. So before we had like 160 ping to Europe here, and that's really bad to play, like you probably know. But we with this cable we can play in Europe with 90, 95 maximum ping, which is really good. So we currently are the only South American team that can compete in Europe, and there's no problem at all. This ping is really okay to play with everyone, so everyone is really comfortable. We are screaming every day with European squads, so that elevates the level of the players as well. And we didn't have any problems, just I think one day the connection was not the best, but it was already in the game, in the end of the game, so we had to play with 160, like the final 5 minutes, but it was all. All the other games were perfect. We didn't have any problems.
Tell me about your bootcamp. If you can, it can show that or
Sure,
no. Yeah.
sure. As I said in the previous question, we are in a city in the north part of Brazil called Fortaleza.
Mhm.
It's a really beautiful city with a lot of beaches and with the most important thing, the good ping to Europe and North America. As you can imagine, to North America we play with 75, so it's perfect, like for Dota 2 players. Mm. Ah, Musva here. Come here, Musva.
Yeah, Muzo.
Philip wanted to say hello. Philip wanted to
Hello,
say
Muzo.
hello.
Hello, amigo.
Can't enjoy her. Hello, bro.
I'm playing now.
Yeah,
We
I
can
see.
talk later.
That's our apartment here. It has a good area, etc. And so I think the players are really well here.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Uh, let's talk about season, DPC season.
Hmm.
You in 15th place in the first division and go play TI qualifiers. What do you expect from them and you ready for that? and who use strongest opponent?
Sure. We had the fifth place last season, but I think with the entrance of Oscar and Musa, we are stronger than we were. These are really experienced players and really high technique players. And I expect to go to TI. I think we can get the first place in the qualifiers and go directly to TI. But nonetheless, if we do not achieve the first place, I'm pretty confident that we can get the second and the third place to go to the last chance qualifiers in Singapore as well. So I'm really anxious, and I think we can get this good result. Regarding our strongest opponent, I think it's Tempest. They have a really good team, and also Infinity, I guess. But I think all the teams right now are really good. But I think we are ready, and we are training really hard to go for TI.
Tell me about esports at Brazil. Which disciplines is more popular, Dota or LoL? Are sponsors actively interested in the market in Brazil or no?
Oh, okay, sure. Well, definitely LoL is the most popular one here in Brazil by far. Dota is really popular amongst the 25 years old to 30. But the mainly the younglings, they prefer LoL. They had more contact with LoL because Valve does not preoccupate a lot about the marketing, etc., to new players. So kind of League of Legends dominated here in Brazil. But the sponsors are really interested here in Brazil, in Dota 2 as well, because mainly the betting sponsors, because Dota is really strong in the betting company sector. But nowadays, the organizations, they beside the teams, they also have the influencers. So the sponsors are really interested in influencers, creating creating active marketing campaigns, etc. But there are a lot of good companies that wanted to sponsor. We had some good partnerships last year, and now we are changing our partners for the next season. So I hope we do find a good company which is interested in investing.
Currently, many sports clubs are entering the esports market. Do you think will be a large flow of sports club in the esports soon, or no?
Sure, I think that.
Okay, next question. What do you think about the current system of TI qualifiers?
I think it's always an improving thing. I think now it's really good for South America because we do have the opportunity to show the Dota of this region to other countries, other regions. We used to have like other regions looking down at us, and with the good results of Viscos and Thunder Awaken, we showed the world that we are a good region and we can improve. So I think it's good. It's a good system. It can improve. For example, these new changes that will happen in this next season will help a lot, I guess, with a more quickly championship, because the DPC before was too long for the players too. They didn't have any time to get some rest. But the next season will be better, I guess. will be faster. But I like this system. No, I think it's getting better every season.
Okay, let's go next question. Name a dream team, create dream team without players.
Uh, I think the dream team, it would be Musba, Faker, Oscar, Wish, and LT, but I'm kidding. But if I could like choose any player, I think the best players in each position would be a dream team, right? So I think Ami now is the best carry in the world. I think he is the best. I don't think anyone can overcome that guy. Thompson is like my favorite mid player. He's really unconventional. He plays very differently, and he's really calm. So I think that would be really good. I think the best offlaner in the world right now is Collapse. I think he's awesome. And Seb is like I don't know this guy. This guy is like a monster. He retires and plays and wins everything. So I think he's really good. And also, I'm really a big fan of Puppy as a position 5. He's like a good captain. He always changes the team, and at the same time, he keeps in the top of the teams in the world. So I think he's the key for the secret. The secret success. So I think that would be my dream team.
Nice dream team.
It's a good team, right?
Winter.
Yeah, we can bet on this team, I guess.
New roster SG. SG Europe.
Yeah, it's Europe would be nice. I don't think we can afford that kind of players, but maybe in a day, right?
Yeah, да. Okay. What do you think about match fixing? How do you feel about it? And are there any case in SA?
Yes, that's a really big issue. I think it's an issue in every sports. Here in Brazil, we face a huge entering of betting sponsors in football. So I guess it's a really big issue because match fixing, it's a lot of money involved. So Valve has a really good concern about it. I think it's the reality. In these minor tournaments, there are a lot of teams that match fix and try to gain money not honest in a not honest way. But I think it should be as a hard punishment for it as it Valve has done it. But I also think like a lifelong penalty, as happened to Smash, for example. I really think it's not fair. Even if you murder someone, you won't here in Brazil, of course, you won't get something like for a lifetime. You won't be jailed forever. So I know he was wrong, and I think that he should be penalized by it. But I don't think a lifelong sentence would be fair. But it's a really delicate thing, but it's a real problem Valve should address too, and they are addressing too. They are really harsh on the penalties, but I don't know if there is any perfect solution for that, because there are always people who wants to gain money in an easier way. So Valve should be really harsh on it, I think.
Okay. Yes. Tell me about your training schedule. How many screens per day you play, and which triggers?
Currently, in this last week, we had like 3 screens per day, three best of twos, so like 6 games approximately, and it's and then this next week we already want to go up to 5 screens a day, so like 10 games. That's a really hard and really committing training schedule, but I think if you want to win, you need to be really hard on training. You need to train as much as you can. And currently we are training with just European and North American teams. So I think that's really improving our way of thinking, playing, because they are kind of ahead of South America. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, we are learning ourselves as a team because we changed Oscar and Musva. So we are learning to work together. So, but I think we are in a good path, and I'm really surprised by the good results we have been having. So that's it, I guess. I think I'm really happy with the results, and I hope we can do the same in the qualifiers as in the scrims.
What do you think about patrol system at Dota? That needs it or no?
I know it's completely useless, I guess. The
Yeah.
patrol thing is like you get to do the patrol like in the game, right? If that's it, it's completely useless, I guess. No one. I even asked the players one time. They all said it was completely useless. I think Dota has some things. Uh-huh.
Favorite food?
I think it's sushi, I guess.
My too.
It's really good.
Yeah. Animal.
Dogs are the best.
Movie.
I think my favorite movie is Interstellar. I think that movie is great. I watched sometimes, or maybe Lord of the Rings. They are both awesome.
Okay. Music.
I really enjoy like rock type of music in the 90s, 80s. But I'm really eclectic. I listen to it all.
Okay. Your favorite hero at games?
My favorite hero?
Yeah.
I think it's Arc Warden. It's kind of a challenge to play it, but at the same time, I think it's fun. But I'm really bad at Dota, so I'm just like a 4K, 3K. So I just play for fun and lose with it.
Mm. Okay, that's last question. Thanks
Uh-huh.
thanks for interview.
Thank you for the chance to talk a little bit about SG. It's a pleasure.
Yes. No problem, bro.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you, Philip, and